Hi. My voice is back for the most part, which is good news. But tomorrow is the second episode of the House of Dragon, the Game of Thrones prequel, not sequel, prequel. Mm-hmm. And so we watched the first episode last week. We didn't film. We were kind of like wanting to do like what we thought on it, but my voice was gone and we just didn't do it. So we are here today because tomorrow is Sunday and the second episode comes out. But we wanted to kind of give our thoughts on the first episode, which was, what was it called?
The Heirs of the Dragon.
The Heirs of the Dragon.
Before we started
episode
one. Before we started, because we don't do these kind of reviews. And the only reason why is because we read the book. But I was like, well, we got to figure out what the name of the episode was.
I'm like, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I was like,
do I ever think about these things? No, we just kind of we just go for a free for all and just go with the flow. But yeah, so yes, so we're going on episode 2 tomorrow.
Okay, so we kind of wanted to start off first with we are huge Game of Thrones fans. We watched season 1 all the way to season 8. Me personally, I don't know what you thought, but me personally, I did not care for the last season. I thought it was a bit rushed. And I thought everything that kind of happened, I didn't care about the direction it went about Daenerys becoming the Mad Queen at all. I didn't care about Bronn becoming, I didn't really care about Bronn becoming king. The only thing I did not like, and I don't know what you guys all think, was that Arya got to kill the Night King and it should have been Jon Snow.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only thing where I was like, what?
I agree. I did feel it was rushed more too.
Yes, so
I didn't like the last episode.
No.
And I think a lot of people did not like the last episode.
Yeah, I've discovered a lot of people didn't like the last season at all. They thought it just was too rushed. And I thought the same thing. The direction was fine. It was too rushed. So I know coming into this new show, The House of the Dragon, people were kind of skeptical at first because they're like, oh no, like, is it going to be good? Because the first couple seasons, I know a lot of people say the book material that was out for George R.R. Martin, I don't know how many seasons it was. Was it like 3 or 4?
And then they started
when they got past the books, like I want to say season 5, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, season 5 on, it was good, but it started kind of dwindling.
Well, and it wasn't the direction he wanted it to go necessarily,
yeah,
right? Or how he saw ending.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of rumors out there with, what he thinks, George R.R. Martin. But, this is his baby. These are his books. And, I know for sure, I read before we started filming that he has a big hand in this, in the House of the Dragon. So,
did he not have as big of one in?
I read that he had it in the beginning, and then after he did not.
Well, hopefully he doesn't give that maybe lesson learned if you didn't like it how it went. Okay, so with this show, so here's the one thing sometimes that happened in Game of Thrones. As much as I loved Game of Thrones, I really did, there were parts sometimes that could get a little slow or sometimes semi-boring to me. Not totally, because I really did like the show and for the most part, my attention was there. So I wasn't sure how this was going to go. Too. Like, would it start out a little slow or would it start out like, I didn't know like how. I didn't think so. I was very interested. I kept my attention the whole time through. Mm-hmm. I really liked it. I don't know if I really like the characters they picked for everyone. I am not necessarily a fan.
Okay, I'm going to get to, yes. So I guess for that, I wasn't at first either, but I was never a Matt Smith fan. Never. I know he's a good actor. I just was never like, Matt Smith. But after watching this, I was like, okay. I don't know if it's because I like Damon.
I do too. I can tell I'm going to like his character and maybe he'll grow on me, but I would have went another direction.
He's definitely a bad boy. Absolutely.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
So I think that's what's kind of growing on me. But
no, so I think his character.
Yeah.
That I like. I think I'm gonna like his character.
I think he'll grow on you.
And he'll probably grow on me, but not in like. I still think I'll be semi disappointed. She was texting me. She goes the next day. She's like, "Oh, I can't remember verbatim what she said, but something like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, like." I think, what was his name?
Say, I kind of got like,
she's like, I'm kind of into the Matt Smithing. And I'm like, really? I really thought some of even the other characters were not how I thought in my head, too. So I'm not really thrilled with, but I'm sure it'll grow on me. I'm sure I just have to.
I was fine with it. I actually,
ease on into
I
it.
thought like, oh, okay. Like, I can see Rhaenyra. I can see Damon. I can see Damon. I read the book, so I can kind of see.
I don't know.
But
I'll just shut up. But yes, I mean,
it was really good. I think they acted I thought it was acted very well.
Yeah, the acting was really good.
Excellent. I think
I loved it. Reminded me we were back in Westeros. Like it had everything like that. I really liked it. I liked the setting of it was really good. It was just we were back there.
It was a good start.
And I said, okay, so she told me I was House Targaryen, and then I said, oh, I am. She's like, yes, you're House Targaryen, and I said, oh, okay,
you're just following my cue.
Sure. I was like, oh, I guess I'm like House Targaryen. Okay. And then I'm like, no, I think I'm House Stark. And I said that in a video. And then I'm like, I told her, I was like, wait, which was Jon Snow? See, I forget things already. And she's like, well, he really is a Targaryen. Right? You said that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he's
maybe
Stark and Targaryen.
I'm like, maybe I was the Targaryen. So I really think I've always been Stark and Targaryen.
Mm-hmm. I always was a House Targaryen.
If you think Stark, we thought originally was
Jon
Snow.
The Game of Thrones kind of focused around the Starks. If you really think about it, they kind of focused around them.
Their family.
Yeah, you started off with them. Jon Snow is a Stark. But his bloodline is Targaryen as well. He's both. He's Stark and Targaryen from what,
them both.
For the first episode, it was a good character building. And like, it wasn't boring. She thought it was not boring at all. So, yeah, I thought.
And it does explain a lot of, I don't know if history, but it was explaining a lot that you kind of were able to understand. And not go like, okay, what? Especially if you have not watched Game of Thrones, you were able to kind of
I agree.
Like, just kind of get where it was. You see the dragons in there a lot. I think, was there 3 dragons or do we see? We saw one main one, but weren't we seeing 2? Okay, so 2.
We saw Daemon's dragon. He was red.
Okay, and then it was...
And then Rhaenyra. Hers is gold.
Yes.
And so that was cool. I mean, it started off with Rhaenyra on her dragon flying through King's Landing.
Yes.
And it's funny because remember in Game of Thrones,
and how old
they were all scared of like they haven't seen dragons in so long.
The dragons were
and then in the show, it's flying over and the people just look up real quick and they just get on with their day.
Like the dragon eggs and like in Game of Thrones. So like the dragons, they knew they used to have them, but they haven't been around. So how is Rhaenyra about? Would you
She's
say?
young.
Are you talking, how young are we talking?
So in the book, I want to say she's like 10.
Oh, she's that young.
But in the show, I don't know. I may be wrong.
I
See, this is
like
what I don't remember.
15-ish.
But I think in the show, they made her more 14, 15, first episode. Now, I'm assuming
they probably have to age her.
They're going to age her. I mean, we know there's 2 actresses playing Rhaenyra. There's the young and then the older one. But I'm assuming for the younger one, because I looked her up, she's 22. Because I thought, how old is this girl? Because I kind of know what to expect. So I was like, how old is she? She's 22. So they're probably going to age her a little bit more as the episodes go until the other Rhaenyra takes over. I don't know when she'll take over, but I know there's 2 Rhaenyras and there's 2 Alicents.
Yes, which you could see by the preview for as it like for the season.
Yeah.
The other thing is we see, again, forgive me, names I'm not as good, the father, that is Rhaenyra's father.
Viserys.
Viserion or Viserys?
Viserys, I think.
Okay, he's the king. He has not produced an heir. yet. And I mean, he has the daughter, but he wanted a son to be heir. And so we see the journey of, like, obviously they've had Rhaenyra, and we come to find out that they've had multiple miscarriages and nothing has come into fruition except for Rhaenyra. And mom is pregnant, and we learn that, I want to say Damien, but it's Daemon, feels that he will become the heir. Like, he will inherit it and be king, okay? So we do know that. And see, I kind of have a suspicion that him and Rhaenyra will marry.
I was going to ask you, because
like, he'll be king and then
what do
he'll
you
marry her
think,
or something.
because I can't say because I already know, but what do you think will happen with Daemon?
Well, I kind of feel
at the end watching that,
I think he's gonna become a rebel, go rogue, and he's gonna try to take the be king himself. But I feel like he'll want to marry Rhaenyra, so then they can rule together. I really don't know how that's gonna go, but do you feel that he wants to be king? And he feels that he is, because that's what he kind of is. You can see the setup for it. He's like feeling like that, listen, out of all these pregnancies they've had, they haven't had a son. They've lost all their children. Well, mom is pregnant, and I don't know mom's name either. She has a very small...
Oh, I remember it, because I was like, because I remember I asked Chris, it's spelled A-E-M-M-A. It's Emma.
Emma, yeah.
But they just say A-E-M-M-A.
Emma. Emma.
It's Emma, I think.
So, mom, that's right. She's Emma. But she doesn't have a huge role. She, like, we see Rhaenyra go in with mom at the beginning and talk with her and stuff. And basically she talks, you have another little scene with her and Viserys or
who, the king?
Yeah.
Viserys.
Viserys. And then you see her go into labor. So she doesn't have a huge role.
Right.
I knew right away she's probably going to die. I figured this part out from the beginning. I just had a feeling. I did not know if the child was going to die or not. I thought it was going to be a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. It is a boy. And actually, Viserys said, like, he kept calling him a him, and Emma said, like, you don't even know.
Because he had these, like, dreams.
And he said, I've had these dreams, and he's sitting on the throne.
Yes, and we learn that, a lot of the Targaryens have dreams. Or like prophecies. Even Daenerys had dreams, and Jon Snow, right? Jon Snow had dreams.
Don't ask me. This
Is it wrong? Yeah, Targaryens kind of have these dreams of, like, or prophecies of what's going to happen.
Yeah, so basically he sees that it's going to be a son, and he is right. It is a son. And I knew the mom was going to die. They ended up, basically the baby was breached. Especially back in the days, they don't have them, like, and this is a fake show anyway, but, like, it's fantasy. But, like, they didn't have kind of like what we have now, where they can actually manipulate the body. Or
they don't have
good
pain medicine.
And they have, what do they call it? They called it in Game of Thrones, milk of the
milk of the poppy.
Milk, that's it, yes. And that's what they're giving her, and they're trying to do it. But they can't turn the baby. So what they do is how they did it back in the day. They just cut her open, and they can't stop the bleeding. And
that was a really sad scene. That was pretty brutal. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, what?
That's what they did back then.
I know, but it's so Game of Thrones, because you see they're all in there, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean, they basically can't stop her bleeding. The baby is born. Rhaenyra is watching a jousting, like, a competition, and, like, while they know the mother's having a baby, and the father Viserys has to go in there. He gets told that there's complications, and he is there when she dies, but he chooses. They said, you will have to choose if you want us to save one or the other, or they will both, like, die. So, or no, actually it was more just to save the baby, because they could not help
save mom. Mom was gonna die regardless.
So they either die together, or mom's gonna die, because they can't. The baby's breached. So, anyways, he says to go ahead and get the baby out, and I mean, you could tell he feels bad, and I felt bad for her, because she was like, "Wait, what's going on? What's going on? No, all that type of stuff."
Yeah.
Anyway, she ends up dying. The baby is born. It is a boy. And I have to say right away, I was like, that cry didn't sound right, or it sounded like or something. And it got me because I thought the baby was going to survive. And the next thing we see is the mom is laid out, getting on the, what do you call it, the pie? I always forget how they say the name. Pyre or pyre. I know the pyre. And then you see a tiny little baby rat. And so they ended up losing the baby. So this now sets up for Daemon. Now Daemon gets in trouble because he referred to, oh gosh, what did he say verbatim? Something about the baby.
The heir for a night or something.
Yes,
or
he was like the heir for a night. So Viserys, heir for a day. That's what it was. Heir for a day. And so Viserys finds out about this and basically says, like, you can go to your wife that he hates.
Okay. 2, you can tell Otto and Daemon hate each other. Like, they despise each other.
Otto is the
hand of the king.
Hand of the king.
And
the king of the hand.
The thing is Otto and Daemon try to get under each other's skin. And look at Daemon at the jousting is picking Otto's son to joust.
And then he goes up to Otto's daughter and says,
He's doing it just to taunt Otto. Like, he does not care. He does not like Otto at all. And at first, like, you kind of, like, have this, like, oh, Otto, seems like a good guy. But, nice and everything. But then he sends his daughter off
to sleep. Okay, so the night that Viserys loses his wife, I'm assuming it's the same night. It's not the second night. I think it's like the same night. But it could be, it might be a day or two. I don't know. He sends the daughter in to comfort him. But they did that back then. Like, I mean, this is a fake world.
But it's Game of Thrones, and you know that everybody has a strategic.
Did that back then anyway.
Everyone has a strategic move. To get power.
They use their daughters.
I mean, and I think she's Rhaenyra's age, and they're young. Mm-hmm. Just to pip her out to like the king, who's older.
I wonder if that will bite Otto in the butt. We never really saw if anything happened.
Well, and it was,
But we never really saw. I will not be surprised if something comes from it, though. Maybe not yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. They ended up talking, and like she brought, again, what book was it? She said, "I know you like." Maybe it was history or something. I know you like the history. I can't. And so they were talking about it, but the real intention was to comfort him, and which is probably to take care of him. But we never really saw if that ever ended up happening. If it didn't happen, I wouldn't be surprised if it does soon. And I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up ruining Rhaenyra and her relationship. Or can you imagine if she becomes Rhaenyra's mother? Stepmom. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. And I actually think Viserys, the king, is a nice guy.
And I think he really loved his wife, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was really
definitely. He loved her. He was very sad that he had to do what he had to do. Do I think they kind of maybe should have, like, let the mom know what they were about to do? I think mom would have agreed to it, but I'm like, man, she had no idea.
Usually you'll pick your child to save them, but still, you're right. Like, But then he might have thought, like, just do it and let her know for the build-up. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know if it would help either way, to be honest.
So Daemon basically gets in trouble for saying what he said. I think he was in a brothel, right, or something? I think he was in a brothel.
Yeah,
and Otto, of course, is like, well, he said this. So the king calls him in and is like, you're out of here.
And the king's the only one that's really been protecting him too. That is my brother, like.
Well, and I think Daemon
because Otto's been slowly been saying things, and the king was protecting Daemon, and this pushed him too far, where he's like, "You're done. My heir was heir for the day. Did you say that?" So anyways, Daemon. We see the end of Daemon leaving, and he's getting on his dragon, and he's getting on with his
I don't remember her name. She has a significant role in this.
She reminds me of
where'd the book go?
What's his name in Game of Thrones? The funny brother.
Tyrion? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. She reminds you of Tyrion?
No.
Oh.
The relationship because he was dating a girl from the brothel as well.
Oh.
And it reminds me of how
the girl that was with Tyrion.
Yeah, they had that relationship and he really loved her. So it kind of reminded me of the same thing of... No, he doesn't remind me of Tyrion. But I meant the relationship because Tyrion fell in love with a girl at the brothel, as well as, you know, so it looks like if Damon is taking her home, that he has fallen in love, like, or he really likes her too. Yeah. Except I kind of think he's falling in love with Rhaenyra, or he wants her for personal gain. I don't know.
Yeah, Damon's a tricky guy. He's definitely one of those gray characters. It's like, I felt like
I think he cares about her for that's his niece, but I would not be if he goes farther, like he really falls in love with her, likes her, or if he cares about her but also wants personal gain, so he uses her. I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, yeah, and then it ends with Viserys basically naming Rhaenyra as his heir, the first woman
so now he'll have to marry her. Now he's going to have to try to marry her because now he wants to be the heir too, or the king. So now it will go.
So I can't say a word. So yeah, and then we kind of get a Game of Thrones tie-in with the Song of Ice and Fire mention of the White Walker. Well, they don't say White Walkers, but they say the winter. Remember, it was the winter is coming. But apparently, Aegon the Conqueror had the dream, and he wanted to rule Westeros for his own gain, yes, but he also felt like the dream led him to do it to unite so that the world of men wouldn't end, or something. I like that. But I was like, oh, we get a Game of Thrones reference.
And you also, the music kind of had a tie to Game of Thrones, too.
Yeah. It was very similar.
Different, though. You can tell it's different.
But it's a different show. But the guy, whoever did it, I know he did Game of Thrones, so he kind of just put it together, which was great. It was really good. We loved it.
I really liked it too. I thought they did a good job.
You see House Baratheon, you see House Stark, you see all of these houses, and it was like, oh, I mean, obviously it's not focusing on them. This is the Targaryens. It's kind of like a little family drama. But yeah, we really enjoyed it.
I have a feeling it'll be kind of like how Game of Thrones was based, like you said, the main characters were House Stark.
Yeah, they were like the biggest house.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see the same thing. Like, it's now the Targaryens, but we're going to see the other houses come in a little bit.
So, but yes, what did you guys all think about the show, about episode 1? And no spoilers on here, obviously. Please try not to put any spoilers if you know the ending.
Past episode 1, I think she means if you...
Yes, don't, yeah.
If you know the ending, like she said.
Like, if you know...
This is just for episode 1.
Yes. So, yeah, no, if you've read this and you know what's going to happen, no spoilers. I'm not saying anything, but, yeah, let us know what you think. And we would love to hear from you down below. Yeah, so anyways, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel and like the video, and I think that is it. We will see you guys soon. We're not sure if this will continue on weekly, or I think we're gonna have to play with it because we don't, if it's we've never done this before or what, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we've never done a show review. So, or we'll pop on every once in a while. We don't know. We're trying to figure it out. But yeah, on to episode 2. We'll see you guys later. Bye.